Your new favorite guitar plugin company is probably one you've never heard of. What's up guys, my name is Darian and today we're going to be going over the plugins from Vynl Audio. They just launched their 2.0 versions of all three of their plugins, Voyager, Sunburn, and the 65, which is Deluxe Reverb Amp Sim. If you're a guitarist and you haven't heard of this company yet, you're about to. I've been using these plugins for the last couple months and I really do feel like these guys have figured out something that a lot of other companies get wrong. They're not trying to make plugins that can emulate every single amp and every single pedal, but rather they're starting with a sound or an idea and turning that into something that musicians like you and me can use, a real tool for guitarists. Most guitar plugins that I've downloaded and used over the years seem to be feature-based, but Vynl, again, seems to approach it from the other side, which is that they start with the sound. What does this specific piece of gear sound like? Or rather, what artists are really pushing the envelope on the modern guitar sound? And then they've built plugins around that sound, specifically McGee. If you're someone that's been looking for that sound like me, I present to you Voyager. Vynl Audio specifically advertises Voyager as a McGee-style tone. The Voyager plugin combines several stages around the gear used to get that sound. The VG8, the 424, the Tascam, the Ranger Effects pedal. So if your sole purpose is, I want to get the McGee tone, you can 100% use this for that. This patch that I have loaded up, I called it Glockenspiel. When I messed around with some of the knobs and some of the settings, I came across this tone that just sounded very hammered and like resonant. The way that the plugin sounds totally changes your approach to how you're playing your instrument. Your guitar doesn't have to sound like a guitar. It could sound like a synth or a percussion instrument or just a loud banging noise. I mean, the possibilities are endless with the Voyager plugin. If Voyager is the nod to the present and where guitar is going, then their other plugin, Sunburn, is a nod to the past. The Sunburn plugin is built around that classic recording sound. Guys like Prince and Steve Lukather, Dan Huff, all the studio legends you can think of played through real analog gear that this is emulating. It's taking the idea of running your guitar through a tape machine for the saturation and applying it to your computer. You can load it up in your DAW and just play it and have something that mimics that without actually owning the analog gear. Now obviously this goes without saying, analog gear is probably always going to be better. But in today's day and age that we live in, that bridge has been closed so much. We're so much closer now than we were 10, even 5 years ago. And so far for me, what really makes their product so appealing is that Voyager makes me want to experiment with the guitar. Sunburn makes me want to record my guitar. The third and final plugin that I'm going to break down is the 65 Deluxe Reverb Amp Sim. The first patch is just the default patch that comes up when you play the amp. And I really do enjoy the cleans and the chiminess, especially played through something with single coils, where you get just that classic John Mayer sound. The next patch is one that I made. I called it City Pop. It's basically a chorus-driven patch meant to emulate the old school Japanese city pop and funk records. My favorite thing to do, aside from recording with the 65, is to play through this patch that I created called Volume Knob Hero. But basically, I'll turn my knob down to around 6 or 7, and I'll play softly, and it has the expression almost of a real amp. There's this ongoing argument with digital versus analog gear where I like playing in front of an amp because I can feel air moving behind me. I think the people that are analog only people, if they were to play through something like this, they might be pleasantly surprised just because of that change that's happened over the last few years or so, where we're so much closer now. And then on top of that, this was modeled after a real 65 Deluxe Reverb amp. So you're getting as close to the real thing without lugging a 60-pound amp around with you. For me, an underrated part of the whole Vynl audio experience is the way the plugins look. The fonts, the colors, I'm a big fan of all of those things. I've built a pretty good relationship with the guys at Vynl Audio, so much so to the point where if you're interested in pulling the trigger on any of these plugins, you can use my code Darian to get $10 off of your first purchase with Vynl Audio. And honestly, the main reason why I wanted to make this video is because I think that there's a tendency for us as guitar players to kind of talk about the same 5 guitar plugins and use those in a rotation. But every once in a while, you find a company that just is doing something different. And Vynl Audio feels like one of those companies. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for watching. I would love it if y'all would like and subscribe. This is my first long form YouTube video, so y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, and let's get to talking. I want you guys to go and try it. Go and buy it. Use my code, and let me know what y'all think. Other than that, I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace. I'll catch you on the next one.